Well, Panthers Nation, it's one of them days, man. Blown out losses. San Francisco 49ers, 51-13 was the final score. One of the worst losses in franchise history, man, but we got to break this down, man. My name's Aaron Duncan. You guys already know what it is. This is the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. I start off every video by saying, what up, dude? This is the channel where I might not tell you what you want to hear, but I'm definitely going to tell you what you need to hear. And I got to emphasize that because we got to take some of that humble pie, Panthers Nation, but make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe too, because I give that real talk about the Panthers. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to give my opinion and straight like that, be realistic about it. Some people can be a little bit too dramatic about it and jump to conclusions. I'm going to give you that real, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. But hey, real quick, man, down below in the comments, let me know what you thought about the game, man. I know it's a lot to take in. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is the turning point in the Panthers season? Like I said, give me Pittsburgh vibes. Do you think we spiral out of control like last year? Or do you think we shake it off and battle back and make a push for the playoffs? Let me know down below in the comments. But just to start this game, man, like it was different. I got really Pittsburgh Steelers vibes from 2018. And I got them type of vibes because this is near the same point in the season. We lost by 31 to the Pittsburgh, but we lost by 38 today. I feel like we kind of got exposed to a certain extent, but like, I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed at the Pittsburgh, but like, I was embarrassed because I just feel like we got whooped. I feel like we came up, we thought we had a good plan, and we just got beat down physically. We feel like less of a man. This game versus the 49ers, I feel a different type of embarrassed. I feel embarrassed like you walking in public and somebody pulls your pants down and everybody sees what you got going on down there. That kind of embarrassed. It wasn't like they just physically dominated us. It's just like we were always trying to figure out. We got fooled and bamboozled. We got tricked. Everything that could go wrong went wrong, and it just sucked, man. But just to get into the details, the reason why I feel this way is because we thoroughly got out-coached. When you get out-coached, you always feel like you are half a step, 2 steps, 3 steps behind on every play. And that's what it felt like. For the most games that we had, we could kind of dictate the tempo and how everything was going along. But off the jump street, the 49ers score on their first drive. So I usually start with the offense on these videos, but I got to start with the defense because I hold them to such a high standard. I got to come at them, man. So defensively, like I said, we always felt like we were half a step, 2 steps, 3 steps behind on every play. We were always playing catch up. We were kind of waiting on them to come to us, and then we were reacting instead of kind of making plays, getting after the quarterback, getting after the run, and dictating what they do. So we were on our heels the whole time because they could dictate the style of the game. When you're getting 4, 5, 6 yards on first down with your running backs, it's going to set everything up. When you're getting easy passes and some plays don't go your way, it's going to set those things up. I kind of knew it was a bad day. Once on the first drive, we had a tip ball that was caught for a first down, and then a tip pass that was caught for a touchdown. I was like, we really going to let Jimmy Garropolo get away with murder again, but we did come back and get the interception on the second drive, and the defense got us that sudden change that we needed, but obviously the defense had been so great, getting multiple turnovers, even having 6 or 7 last game versus the Bucs, that this game, the offense wasn't able to score off of it, and that's one of the biggest factors. I'll talk about the offense in a little bit, but the defense did get an early turnover, and that was big. And they also got a safety later in the game, even scoring points themselves and giving the ball back. But for the amount of stuff they gave up, I can't even give them full credit. I usually would like to give them full credit, like, hey, a safety and a pick for a defense is pretty good on most days, yeah, but you can't forget about the other 4 or 5 drives where they drove 75 yards down the field. 2 out of their first 4 drives were 75-yard full field drives, and that was just demoralizing because most of it came from the run. Yeah, Jimmy Garropolo was throwing to George Kittle, and that was a BS little flag they threw on Trey Boston, but it still hurt because they weren't even just like running over us with the running game. They were just running right by us. We looked slow. They played football better than us. Like I said, like Pittsburgh game, we kind of got beat up. They outwilled us, outmanned us. Today, we just seemed like we were playing against 25-year-old kids and we were 55-year-old men. We were stuck in cement. They were just running right by us. Tevin Coleman is not that good, but he does have speed. We've seen Tevin Coleman before. However, last time we played Tevin Coleman, he did have a great game like this in Atlanta for 100-something yards. So I had my doubts. Like I said, in my pregame prep video, if you haven't seen it, make sure you subscribe and go check that video out. I said that they run that zone scheme, and we have to have gap integrity. When guys get out their gaps, those cutbacks open up when people are in their position they're supposed to be, and running backs can go. And that's exactly what pretty much happened on every time Tevin Coleman scored a rushing touchdown. When he got the ball, period. I think he only had like 10 carries for 100-something yards, so that sucked. I think we gave up like 200-something total, and it just seemed like whatever they wanted to do in the running game, they did it. You got to give them credit too, because Shanahan is a mastermind with some of these play designs. He runs the same plays, but it's still brilliant. Even that little trap to Deebo Samuel, that was a nice, cute play. But with the motion with Emmanuel Sanders that stretches the defense even more, that's a little twist on it that nobody really does. We've run that same play before. We just haven't run it that looks like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give them credit, but we just look unprepared on defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we came into the game knowing they're going to have to run the ball, and they did it. And they did it well. So that's what's most disheartening. It's not like they did stuff that just shocked us and scared us and surprised us. Like even Ron Rivera said in his press conference, they did a lot of stuff that they practiced. We just was all over the field. They had us out there thinking. We're a very aggressive defense. So if you can make us think, we're going to hesitate and we're going to be half a step behind. And that's what happened every time. And today, it just looked bad, man. To be specific, I think Bruce Irvin had a great game, obviously. Brian Burns didn't get much PT because he had a surgery procedure on his wrist due to bye week for that block punt he had during the season. He had been playing with it wrapped up, but he went and got the procedure done. They were really trying to ease him back into the game, so I expect him to be back next week. It really didn't matter because he's a pass rush guy, and we were never in a scenario where we were ahead of the game and we had to we could get after the quarterback like that. So, and Jimmy, when at the time that Jimmy did throw, he did a good job getting the ball out quick. I'm just pissed off that we let Jimmy Garropolo get away with another week of being murder. He's overpaid, bro. I'm telling you. People want to say, oh, he's only started a couple games in his career. Yeah, but they didn't pay him like that. They pay him like he's a vet, and he's been getting away with murder. They have a good roster overall, man, and like the formula has been working out perfect. I don't know how sustainable it is for them, but you got to give them damn good credit today for what they did to our defense. So, it's time, fellas. Let's talk about this offense, man. You know where we got to start, this quarterback position. So, Kyle Allen. You were really looking real undrafted today, bro, at quarterback. I can't lie, man. You were really looking unsure about what you were seeing out there. The good thing that you had been doing before is being very decisive about what you wanted to do, not taking the bad play, not throwing stuff away, living to fight another down. Today, when we got down 2 or 3 scores, you were looking like you were trying to get all those scores in one play, running around too much. You know, I mean, our offensive line is not great anyway, but they're not as bad as the number of sacks they gave up today. Yeah, Dennis Daly got exposed by Nick Bosa today, but Nick Bosa, he's done that to a lot of guys. He's pretty good, but at the same time, a lot of the plays, Kyle Allen was holding on to the ball too long. You know what type of front you're going against, and you know that we have a patchwork offensive line. Our offensive line has really overachieved. I'm not going to beat them up about this game because they've overachieved for what we've seen them throughout the year. From what we saw earlier in the season, the way Cam was getting killed against the Bucs to these past 4 games, they've really stepped their game up for the most part and gave Kyle Allen enough time to get stuff done and the block for Christian McCaffrey, who's been on a crazy run these past few weeks. So I can't beat them up too much because I don't think they're as bad as that. I think Kyle held onto the ball too long. I think Kyle ran around a little bit too early than he should have today. But the offensive line, sometimes you just get out-athlete up front, and that's what happened. Like Bosa, he really put on the clinic, 3 sacks and a pick. We thought Brian Burns was going to get Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's probably going to be Nick Bosa this time because Nick Bosa just went off today, and Brian Burns is pretty quiet. But Kyle, like, it just seemed like once the first one happened, he kind of got in his head, and he kept trying to do a little bit too much every time. And once we got down, it kind of pretty much eliminated the ability for us to give Christian McCaffrey the ball consistently. Because every other game that we've had, we've been winning. And we can give Christian McCaffrey 25 carries plus 7 catches because we don't have to be as aggressive on offense because our defense has been dominating. I said in another video, let's see Kyle Allen in a different type of game. Let's see him try to bring us back from victory. Let's see him in a game where the defense isn't dominating because this is the NFL and defenses do give up points every so often. As good as our defense has been, they gave up some points today. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it was going to be a different type of game eventually. I didn't think it was going to be this game where the 49ers would be scoring at will like they did today. But the game plan really couldn't have been any better for them. Like, they really beat us at our own game. They want to get after the passer, run the ball, protect their quarterback so it doesn't throw him much. What that happened exactly for them today. Us, what happened? We didn't protect the ball. We turned it over. We didn't run the ball that good because Christian McCaffrey, besides that long run that he had, he was pretty much shut down and bottled up for the most part. And not to mention, they took it away because we were down and keep the quarterback from throwing too many times. Kyle Allen threw 35 times today. That's not a recipe for victory with Kyle Allen or Cam Newton. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter who's that quarterback. The way that the game went, it just was whatever. We just got outplayed. We got beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christian McCaffrey, of course, he's going to get his numbers. He had 117. He popped one that got called back and popped another one later. So I was pretty satisfied with what he did. But like I said, had our defense got any kind of stop early on for us to be able to keep Christian McCaffrey in the game as a running threat, it might have been a little bit better because we were getting a little bit on him on the outside. We kept trying to run the inside, which wasn't working. But when we went to the outside, we had pretty good success. I don't know why Norv didn't keep going back to on the run for the outside, but it is what it is. Our receivers, it was tough. It was a windy day. I know a couple of deep balls got away from Kyle. We tried to open it up, but sometimes it just seemed like Jesus Christ. And it's tough. I know I'll probably make another video talking about Shanahan play. I'll make that later because I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. But Kyle struggled a lot, bro. And our offense, we've been kind of getting away with murder just like Jimmy Garropolo. Jimmy Garropolo, stuff goes their way every time. Their defense comes up big every week. Their running game finds a way to come up big, and it gets to a point where Jimmy Garropolo, even if he does throw an interception, he doesn't lose the game for them. And today, same thing recipe with Kyle. Kyle hadn't lost us the game yet. He'd been playing good, clean football, not throwing an interception. He did have fumbles, but he didn't lose all of them. But he had a pretty clean game, but for the most part, other weeks. And today, he didn't help us. He didn't help us win, and he helped contribute to the loss a little bit. But usually, he just doesn't lose. You know what I'm saying? So, what do you do now with this roster? There's a lot to talk about still. There's going to be more videos this week, obviously, guys. But where do we go from here? Like I said, I'm getting Pittsburgh vibes. I think this is a turning point in our season for the worse or better. You know what I'm saying? We're 4-3. The NFC is tight. We know the Saints won today. Drew Brees came back, so every win counts. But do we bounce back or do we let our season spiral out of control like last year? Have we learned from our mistakes? That's the question, man. But you guys let me know down below in the comments how you feeling about this game, man. It's crazy, man. I'm feeling kind of weird right now, but you guys let me know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Down below in the comments. But without further ado, I'm Aaron Duncan signing off. Necessary Blunt Sports Talk. I'll see you next time.